Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to, well, cut through the noise and find the real story.
That's the plan.
Today, we're jumping into the thick of AI developments, specifically focusing on what happened July 10th, 2025. It's quite a mix.
It really is. Our mission today is to look beyond just the headlines. We want to understand the breakthroughs, sure, but also these growing trust issues cropping up around AI.
Right. And we're basing this on insights from Byte of AI, Daily AI News, July 10th, 2025. Plus, we've gathered info from various web sources and what people are saying on X.
Yeah, pulled it all together.
Okay, so what's on the docket? We've got the official launch of xAI's Grok 4.
Big one.
Then some really interesting news from DeepMind on their AlphaGenome trials.
Mm-hmm. Promising stuff there.
And tying it all together, this whole public debate that's boiling up, hashtag AI trust, is trending, apparently. We need to figure out why.
Exactly. It shows just how fast things are moving and how complex the reactions are.
Okay, let's start with Grok 4. This is xAI's big language model. It officially launched today, July 10th. The time was 8:00 p.m. Pacific time.
Which, for listeners in India, was 8:30 a.m. this morning, July 10th.
And this wasn't some quiet release. Confirmed across the web, lots of chatter on X. The live stream apparently showed off some pretty impressive upgrades, particularly in coding and reasoning abilities.
Yeah, they definitely highlighted those. But the interesting part is the immediate context. We have to remember what happened just a few days ago.
Ah, you mean the controversy.
Exactly. The Grok 4 backlash from July 7th. Remember the reports about biased outputs, especially on certain political topics?
Right, that blew up quickly.
It did.
Oh, yeah.
And it led to them rushing out that Grok 4 patch on July 8th, trying to address those specific problems.
So just 2 days later, the official launch happens.
Right. So you can imagine the initial user feedback today, it's mixed. People haven't forgotten last week. Those concerns about bias are definitely still lingering.
Making it a pretty high-stakes debut then.
Absolutely. High stakes with, frankly, unresolved questions hanging over it.
So what does that mean for xAI? And I guess for people thinking about using Grok 4?
Well, look, Grok 4's success, long-term anyway, really hinges on whether they can overcome this trust deficit. It's not just about the tech anymore.
People are watching closely.
Very closely. Their next moves, how they address these bias concerns, it's all under the microscope. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How does a company actually rebuild trust when things move this fast in tech?
That's a tough question. Okay, let's pivot slightly. From the challenges of Grok 4 to something that sounds potentially very positive, DeepMind's AlphaGenome trials.
Yes, some exciting early results reported today. This is in the realm of AI-designed medicine.
Okay, what's the specific breakthrough?
So the reports, and we saw this echoed on X today, mention early success in trials for 2 specific genetic conditions.
And this follows on from other recent news.
That's right. It builds directly on the AlphaGenome trial expansion they announced just back on July 8th. They were broadening the scope then, and now we're seeing the first hints of success from that expanded work.
What makes this different? Is it just faster drug discovery?
It's more than just speed, though that's part of it. The key is that it's AI designed. AlphaGenome isn't just screening existing drugs faster, it's potentially generating novel treatment candidates from the ground up, optimized by the AI.
So creating something entirely new.
Potentially, yes. It's a step towards, truly personalized or precision medicine designed by AI, a glimpse into what might be next.
But these are early results, you said.
Correct. And that's the important qualifier. It's incredibly promising, no doubt, but the full, detailed results aren't out yet. Rigorous testing, peer review, all of that is absolutely essential to confirm these findings and build credibility.
So excitement tempered with caution.
Precisely. It's a promising step forward, but, science requires patience and validation.
Still, the potential implications if this pans out.
Oh, they're huge. This could genuinely accelerate medical breakthroughs. It might fundamentally change how we approach treating genetic conditions in the future. It's fascinating to see AI potentially transforming healthcare at this level.
Okay, so we have Grok 4 launching under a cloud of trust issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then AlphaGenome showing this incredible life-saving potential.
Yeah, quite the contrast.
And you're saying this contrast is fueling this wider debate. That's why #AI trust is trending.
I think that's a huge part of it. You see it all over X today. People are asking tough questions about AI reliability, especially after controversies like the Grok 4 one. They're talking about bias, accountability.
But at the same time, seeing news like AlphaGenome.
Exactly. So if you look at the sentiment online, it really feels like a tug of war
Between what?
between the excitement for what the tech can do, the medical promise of AlphaGenome, and this deep skepticism about the ethical side, the control, the bias, like we saw with Grok 4, innovation versus oversight, basically.
It's not just tech enthusiasts talking anymore, is it? This feels broader.
Absolutely. This isn't just chatter among developers. This is a public conversation emerging about what we expect from AI.
And does this conversation actually matter? Does it influence anything?
I think it absolutely does. This ongoing public dialogue, these debates happening on platforms like X, they could genuinely drive new standards, demands for more transparency, better accountability. It shapes how AI is developed and ultimately how it's accepted or not into our lives, into your life.
It makes you wonder, what role does this public voice really play in steering where AI goes next?
That's the crucial question, isn't it?
Okay, so let's wrap up this deep dive. We covered quite a bit today.
We did.
We looked at XAI's Grok 4 launch, the tech potential, but also those really significant trust challenges hanging over it from last week.
The high-stakes debut.
Then the flip side. DeepMind's AlphaGenome trials showing early, very promising wins in AI-driven medicine.
A potential game changer for health.
And all of this feeding into that wider, intensifying #AI trust debate we're seeing online. The innovation versus oversight struggle.
Exactly. That tension is really palpable right now.
So as we leave you to think about all this, here's a final thought. AI is evolving incredibly quickly, and this conversation around trust is only getting louder.
So the question for you is, what new ethical frameworks, what kind of transparency standards do you think are most crucial now? What do we need to ensure AI develops responsibly and integrates well into our lives?
Something to definitely reflect on as this technology continues its rapid journey. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.